radiation for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
Kind of neat way to tell a story. We'll probably have tons of projectors throughout the world.
The sound of spark metal going pew pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door.
Really? Oh. I mean... Does it have to go this way or the other way, you think? Maybe it has to be... No.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Like that? No. Maybe it's supposed to...
Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again.
White on white? Oh, I see. I think I get it now. Got it.
There you go.
Each pair has to line up. Out of date. Perfectly countering an enemy attack will stun them. A stunned enemy has stars circling above their head, and after hitting the enemy again, you can launch it up in the air by pressing Q.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out.
Oh shit.
All fired up.
I mean, kind of just spam clicking, not really much thought in the combat. There's a lot of auto aim going on. The camera pans when you kind of move towards the enemy.
That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
I think the most charming thing about this game is the narrator. Sounded like David Attenborough. A new friend, an old friend.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
vunko vuntu. E baso to bubu bukoye.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
The scar?
Loma utulu ba yogo.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma.
Kotuvon ko komvunkono. Loma utulu ba yogo.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Koyevon. Tuvon bonon. Loatolo maua.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Potowata.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
What's at stake?
Yowotulua koyevon. Tuvon bonon.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
Dialogue settings. By default, dialogues are set to advance from one NPC line to the next. If you want to manually change it, go to settings, accessibility. Okay. Oh, way back in the long ago. Yeah, this game looks very nice. Look how tiny I am. Best before.
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here.
I hope I told her.
You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people.
Potatoes?
The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree.
Potato people better.
You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
Okay. Glitter grass. So... yeah, I mean, the game looks fantastic. Not bad. It's the combat that worries me. Hopefully, if we unlock more abilities, it will get more interesting.
You
But so
found one.
far, first
You should
impressions,
be proud. They don't come out for everyone.
it's decent.
The
Combat is
Nono's
decent.
ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life.
Will it grow strong? What's Pensai?
The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of Ki, the primal energy.
Hoop net received. Main quest, the No-No.
Go catch the Nono with...
Catch the No-No. Interact.
You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pensai tree.
How many does it need?
Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of Ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
Yeah, one with the tree. Let's go. This game has an interesting premise, right? Kung Fu, open world, RPG. You play as these little dudes. In a beautiful world. It has promise. Definitely has promise.
Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today.
She only cares about Wung Fu. I shouldn't make her worry.
No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived.
The end of day, World Eaters.
The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxinol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive.
Ooh. Now the world map...
His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton.
It's the most impressive thing I've seen from the trailers.
Puff at the end of the West Route.
It just felt so alive.
Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved.
Porky Puff.
He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg.
Oh.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
I bestow to you the rod net. Pry open the door.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters.
A late title card, let's go. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. My name is Knify. We are playing a Biomutant on the PC. Oh, okay. Oh, so I just press sprint and he's like... Psh.
A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged.
It's charming. The graphics are beautiful. Hopefully the combat picks up. It's a little bit too straightforward for me, but it's fun. The first steps. What does this do?
Let's see.
Okay, I think I peed on the signpost. Signposts are found near locations of interest all around the world. You unlock a signpost when interacting with it. Fast travel. You can fast travel to a signpost you've unlocked by selecting on the map. Open the map with M. Sounds good. I mean, where do you want to head to? Surf? Probably surf place, huh? Let's see what happens. Let's venture out a little bit more. Wow, its fur looks crazy. What the heck?
That must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake.
David Shaw Parker.
Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart.
Interacting with captives and psi shrines will award you with psi points that you can use to unlock psionic powers. Powers can only be unlocked once you have reached the required dark or light inner balance.
Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions.
Let me help.
He's
Grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
Yeah, let's level up here. Let's do more luck.
That's more like it.
More luck. Luck build. Go to the mutations tab and unlock a psi power. Okay. So... Somewhat light. Mutations. Psi power. Wait. Biogenetics. Oh, biogenetics are unlocked using bio points gained from defeating bio creeps or finding containers. Bio points can be often found at nucleus tower sites. Use moth mouth. Oh, so you can kind of charm the enemy and they'll fight for you. Vile bite. Press down the input you have bound the ability to make you spew toxic. Oh. Okay. It's kind of funny. Mothmouth could be good in like crowd control situations. Oh. Let's try this one.
Your body could change.
Okay, to use Vile Bile, press down the input you have bound it to, spew. Okay, sounds good. So, assign it. E, Alt. Okay, these are some weird keys right now. Right click. How about E? To use an ability, press the button it's bound to while pressing and holding. Okay. A lot of key binds going on here. Let's do psi powers. What's this? Blink. That looks cool. Wow. I kind of like Blink better. Yeah. To use Blink, I think I'll use... What's a good key for Blink? Maybe right click? Maybe space. Okay, let's go back. Upgrade resistance. Nope. Save. So. Alright. So you hold down, for me, if you're a PC user, you hold down middle mouse button and then you press your assigned key. For me, it's spacebar. The blink. Oh my god, it's so short. It's not even that... Alright, well... It'll probably be useful in battle.
That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress.
To initiate.
Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war.
Sifu's supposed to be here.
Thinks you should just put one paw ahead of the other and make your way up there. The tribe is always open to a new face.
Sibi? Lapanen aking kaman. Gerat na fal hutut mustugay la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu.
Hello?
But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life.
Oh yeah, let's save it.
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe.
Coerce?
The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to unite the tribes and take control of their destiny. The tribes need a firm hand guiding them into the future. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
All right.
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their sifu to unite their tribe with yours.